Welcome back to RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018, brought to you by Redcon One. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is our current and reigning Mr. Classic Physique Olympia champ and the Arnold Classic champ from this past year as well, Breon Ansley.
Hey, what's happening, Dave? Thank you for having me.
You got a lot. This time last year, you didn't have all those titles after your name.
I know. Oh, that sounds good, man. We got it. We're still working, though. We're still adding. We're not done, for sure.
I think after the win at the Olympia, your momentum really picked up a lot after the Arnold victory, because I think that really cemented in everyone's mind that you were indeed the champ and the guy to beat in that division.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely didn't want to be a one and done, I wanted to definitely show that I'm here to stay for some time. So
now,
how did it work?
Yeah, you just got back from Kuwait, so we usually hear about big, massive open bodybuilders going to Kuwait. You're probably one of the few classic physique guys that we've seen go over there. What was the trip about? How did that? First of all, tell us how it even came about, the trip, and then tell us what happened there.
Well, I've been training under Chris Cormier for quite some time now, for maybe almost 3 years now, and we've been talking about it ever since then. He's been holding camps out there for about maybe 5-6 years now. And so we talked about it. We really talked about it heavily when we both went to Australia early this year to kind of, go to the Arnold Australia and kind of do the tour out there. Mm-hmm. We talked about getting ready for the Olympia this year. And, the time came. Bader talked to me as well, sent the invite out, and we were ready to rock and roll earlier this month. And, kind of just put the training and put the preparation in overdrive, with focus and with, just all of the things at your disposal out there.
Right. Well, you know what the truth is, though? A lot of people would be afraid to travel right before the Olympia, but for you, you're like thinking, well, this is like a training camp for me. All right, the flight sucks and everything like that, but as long as I come back a couple weeks before, so my body can readjust, I'm going to have nothing but bodybuilding to do out there, I assume. And
that's it. I mean, I was hesitant about that, at being so critical, close to the time of showtime, and it kind of being time sensitive. That kind of did take me aback a little bit, but I thought, I knew Chris wouldn't have me doing anything that would hinder my preparation. And, I thought of all the other guys that are out there doing the same thing. Everything ran smooth. So there weren't any hiccups, which was great. And it was all great.
Let me ask you this question. When I was, preparing for competition back in the day, I loved being in my home environment. Because it was so comfortable. I knew all my little places I had to go, to tan, to this, to that, to eat, and it just was a very comfortable environment. But I never went to a place like Kuwait, where it's completely catered to bodybuilding. Were you actually more, relaxed over there than you were in your home environment, or vice versa?
Well, I'm still relaxed here. The only difference here is that I'm driving places. Well, there's a few differences, actually. But there's a few differences. I mean, I'm not driving all over the place out there. You have 10 different machines to use of the body part that you want to work on. We have my meals were delivered to me. We have cold, whirlpool, hot pool, laying out, get some sun. It's hot out there too.
I was gonna say, you can't lay out for very long in the summer there. That's for sure.
No way, man.
I don't care if you got black skin or not. You still can't go out in the sun there.
Right. But I did it though. I did it a few times and got a little bit more brown.
Yeah, you look. I was gonna say, you look like you have a suntan. You actually look like a reddish brown as opposed to just the black.
There we go. Well, then, job well done, man. It worked. Me laying out there and baking out there, it worked.
Do the other guys out there, does Rami and Ruli lay out anywhere in the sun?
I didn't see Rami and Ruli laying out. I didn't see them laying out, but I did talk to Ahmad
Yeah.
I saw him at Bader's restaurant one night, and he said that he was going to go out and do it the next morning, lay out like early in the morning before the sun really gets going,
Right.
8 to 10. I was doing it like at 3 p.m., when it's like at its peak. Yeah.
They're probably like, look at that crazy black man out there in the sun. All the people, everyone else has got like turbans on and covered up and, hiding from the sun.
They definitely were looking at me crazy because I was the only black man out there doing that.
What? Now, you were out there, obviously, you and Chris are pretty tight. I know Chris was really high on you before the last Olympia. He told me he was working with you a lot. What does Chris bring to the table in terms of posing? Because I think he's one of the best posers, and I've seen him describe posing to people. He's also one of the best teachers when it comes to posing, I think, out there.
Absolutely. He's just a technician as far as conditioning and technique, with what, you need to bring forth to the table and what you need to show the judges, with your physique.
Because you're so good. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're so good on stage already. Does he actually add anything to that? Is he more helpful to you? I mean, do you need his help at this point?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's always things that I need to tweak, and I need to kind of, show better,
right,
and perform certain poses better to show my physique off a little bit better. And so absolutely, definitely, I still need work with that. It's still, trying to perfect it. And like I said, the posing conditioning, man, we go rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds on top of rounds after training. So, that improves the physique as well, and then, they can hold us up there as long as they want to. The judges, you'll be up there like a statue with all the continuous practice that you've been doing when you're tired after training,
Of course. Now that you've come back here and Chris is still in Kuwait, is that nerve-wracking to you, or will you still continue to do the intense practicing, even without him?
I'm still gonna train intensely. I'm gonna have to find a way to do the posing in the gym.
Yeah.
It was kind of like they had posing rooms where we were training, so that was very convenient. This time, where I am now and where I train now, we don't have posing rooms, so I'm gonna just be doing it, just posing in the middle of the gym with all the people, while all the people looking this time around. So.
Tell us about the magic mirror over there, because everyone loves that mirror. You take a picture in that mirror over there in Kuwait in that oxygen gym, you look 1,000 times better. What's the deal with that? Is it the lighting? Is it just the way the mirror is shaped, or why is that mirror so great?
It's the lighting. It's it's definitely the lighting. It's dark in there, but yet it's lit, so it has shadows. And then it hits the muscles the right way, So I definitely had to take a shot or two and take a video or two.
See, we're watching it right now. We got it up there.
Yeah, but the lighting is just spot on in that mirror. There's a few magic mirrors. I mean, it's in all of the bathrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bathrooms too?
Yeah.
Now, you were over there. You were staying with Brandon Curry. You guys were roommates for the 3 weeks you were over there. How is it staying with another guy who's dieting for a show? Do you guys can you kind of like relate to each other, or is there a clash there because you're both grumpy?
The dieting was just fine. I did get a kick out of a few things though, with Brandon. Brandon, he's an open guy and he's a big guy,
Of course.
So I'm out there eating no carbs. I'm on no carbs pretty much the whole time. The first week I was on carbs. The last 2 weeks I'm on no carb. He's still eating, 400 grams of potatoes in the morning.
Wow.
Oh, jasmine rice every meal. I'm like, Jesus, man. Lucky devil you. And then, he's a big guy also. So, his body temperature is different than mine. So we kind of had to, play with the air conditioner.
Oh, when you were freezing and he was sweating, is that what it was?
Yeah. My body temperature was when water gets low, when body fat gets low, man, you get cold. So I was like, B, we got to work with this air conditioner a little bit, brother.
Yeah, he probably had it down to like 50. You were probably freezing your nuts off over there.
Oh yeah, I was freezing my nuts off at 50. I had to bump that thing up. I was inside and sleeping with a hood on sometimes.
Now, you know what? The funny thing is, I want to know what everyone does over there, because everyone's got, look, these guys are over there for a long time. What does Brandon do like on his downtime? Because I know Cormier plays video games all the time. What does Brandon do like to keep himself occupied?
Well, Brandon has a family. You know, he has a big family, so he's always talking to his family.
Gotcha.
That kept him busy. He's always talking to his family when he's not training, or when he wasn't shooting the shit with me, eating and watching TV. But he's a very, very, very smart guy. You know, and Brandon, he watches like the news and keeps up with like current events, all the political news going on in the world.
Oh, he
and
watches
has
all that
insight.
stuff. Really? I'm shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, has insight on it and everything. And I was like, all right. I see you, Brandon.
What were you doing over there the whole time? Because you're not used to being over there. So like for you, it was kind of a vacation, you know.
Well, yeah, kind of. Just kind of, because I was working my tail off, man. I tell you.
Were you sleeping? Did you take a lot of naps when you were over there?
There you go. Man, I was sleeping because, you know, we were going. The thing about it over there also is I was fitting so much more in my prep this time around too, with more cardio, with training twice a day. So with the posing, so I was fitting a lot more in. So, you know, every chance I was getting, I was napping in between.
That's the way to grow and recover for sure.
Yeah.
And what do you normally do for work, Breon, over in the States? I mean, were you able to take off work and go over there? That's a long time, 3 weeks.
Well, I'm just fortunate enough to bodybuild. I mean, you know, with supplement sponsors and things of that nature. And, you know, I have an online coaching biz and you know, online store with my little merchandise. I'm all good as far as, you know,
awesome.
As far as working and being able to support myself, bodybuilding. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen to that. Now, what's with the Black Swan? Where did that come from? And what's the, I know what the movie The Black Swan was, but what's the meaning behind you being the Black Swan? Yeah,
well, actually, my friend Mac.
Tilt your hat down so we can see the hat for a second. Tilt it down.
Yeah.
All right.
My friend Mac just gave it to me one day. He's like, man, you like a swan up there when you pose. You know how you move with your arms and how you flow and how fluid it is. But we don't want to, you know, the white swan is just a little bit too, you know, just a little bit too feminine, and it's just kind of, it doesn't have any masculinity to it. So we're gonna call you the Black Swan. And then we just kind of went along with the movie, and you know, the meaning behind the Black Swan in the movie was kind of daring, you know, and cutting edge, and with a little flair and flash, you know. So we kind of just went with Black Swan from there.
It's a little dark too, the movie, you know. So yeah, I mean.
Yes, dark. Yeah. See, so we also was like, well, you know, Breon's smiling all the time, but when he gets on stage, when it's time to compete, man, you know, he goes into that deep, dark Black Swan. Realm.
Now, Breon, you've seen obviously a lot of these shows this year in the Classic Physique division. We've seen a whole bunch of new guys coming out of the woodwork that we haven't seen before. So, you know, personally, I believe this Classic Physique Olympia will be the best yet. Obviously, everyone's gunning for your title. How do you feel going into this show? Taking yourself out of the equation, who do you like in that division? Like, which physiques do you say, hey, those guys are pretty damn good, you know?
To take myself out of the equation.
You're the champ. So who else do you like in the division, like physique-wise?
Physique-wise, I'm really a fan of Rough Diesel's physique.
I do. I like him too.
I really like his physique, man. Small joints, just great legs. You know, if he could bring his upper body up, I'm sure he did it already. Bring his upper body to match those legs, man. And his posing as well, you know, in his presentation. Sure. I'm really a fan of what he does. Also, that guy, Steve Larius, he has a great physique as well. You know, with his shape, great shape on that guy, you know, round muscle bellies and small joints as well. Yeah, just to name a few, a fan of those guys. My boy Danny Hester. I'm probably the best of friends as far as all the guys with him because we live in the same city and we train all the time and see each other all the time.
Right.
So um,
he's incredible what he's doing at he's my age. I mean, he's 50. That's just insane what he's able to bring to the stage still at that age. People don't realize it. It's not easy when you get over 40, and he's 50. That's what a crazy resurrection his career took.
I know it's really amazing, and it's really admirable in what he's doing. And he's amazing, in that respect. He really is. So
yeah.
I really want him to do well at this Olympia. I know he's been sliding down a little bit as far as in some shows and all that. But I really want him to resurrect and make a big comeback this Olympia and, man, even crack top 2, top 3, what I want him to do. So.
I noticed you didn't mention any higher than 2.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely. You know that. We got to reserve that one for me. We got to reserve that one for me. So you already know what that one.
Danny's a great friend, but not that great a friend,
Oh, of course. Not that great. So I want him to take me down.
That's right. All right, well, you know what? Give us a front double bicep to take us out of here today for this interview. And
I don't know if you can see it. Can you
we can see it.
Any of the bicep?
Yeah, there you go. The best arms in classic bodybuilding. There you go. Best biceps for certain. Were you born with those biceps when you were like 10 years old? Did you have those biceps?
I did. I've always had a good bicep, man. I've always had a good peak to them. So
we hate you guys, man.
Yeah. All we had to do was just, build on these good genetics.
You always see these kids in school. They got great calves. You know that some people just have genetic gifts. You just have biceps. I mean, that's probably, like I said, you probably had nothing but biceps when you were like 12.
Yeah, just nothing but biceps because it's funny. My calves have been little, man, until recently. I've had to bring those damn things up like my biceps. So yeah, just genetically gifted with the biceps, and it's a blessing, man. Luckily that I have the best ones. Yeah. I'll even thank you for telling me I have the best ones in Classic Physique.
You do. I was saying that the other day. We were talking about the Classic Physique class. And I said, man, if you got to have a good, if you can't be the champ without a good pair of arms. It's just impossible. That's the class. If you have bad biceps, you shouldn't even do classic. You should just go into regular bodybuilding because you got to have great arms. That's the almost like the stereotype of the class, I would think. And a small waist, obviously.
Agreed.
And you got both in spades, so man, you're all set. Hey, Breon, thanks for doing this interview with us. I know you just got back from Kuwait. Great entertainment we got here today, and I want to just wish you the best of luck going into the Olympia.
I appreciate you so very much. Always great to talk to you. And man, see you in a little less than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's showtime, baby.
How do we get your clothing? Where do people buy that?
It is on forthedamnwin.com.
That's a great website.
For the number 4, thedamnwin.com, and you can shop till you drop.
All right, I'm going to go over there and take a look and see if I can pick up some Olympia shirts over there. And but we'll see you in Vegas, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018, brought to you by Redcon One. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Breon. Appreciate it.
Thank you so very much, Dave. I appreciate you.